Anything that Ajume touches sort of blossoms into something that really is about equity and inclusion, and he has always been somebody who centers very, very heavily on what is important for women in society.
He impacts his students at CU Boulder greatly with discussions around social ethics and philosophy. He has this way of making girls feel really important and seen.
It's important when you have females in university and graduate school to try to help raise them up and try to give them the same opportunities that I think often men are given without a second thought.
Ajume Wingo is a prince. His grandmother was the queen in his kingdom when he was growing up.
He was in Cameroon traveling on a bus, and they were just going through the countryside, and suddenly the bus stopped in a place that was not a normal bus stop. Everybody got off of the bus, and there was a young girl sitting on the ground in a circle of women.
And they were pointing at her and screaming at her, shaming her for being outside of her house when she shouldn't have been. Well, it was her first period, so she didn't know. It is taboo in Africa to be social, to be working, to be in school, to be out when you're having your period.
He went outside and he said to the girl that this is a natural thing that is happening to your body and you should not be ashamed of it. If you didn't have this period, none of us would be here.
So he said to all the women that were shaming her, "How dare you? This is not okay." And he made a commitment to himself in that moment that he would do everything he could to prevent this from happening to his daughter, somebody else's daughter, to any girl.
He just came up with this amazing idea for this project for Pride Pads, and the idea of empowering young women in other parts of the world that were in positions of need. I was very compelled to want to participate with that. Having my daughter involved in it has been hugely influential.
We went to Ghana, talked to the students, and started to feel out what was needed in order for us to create this actual organization. Providing girls with pads. We're helping them stay in school. We're helping them become educated.
By giving them the tools to allow them to stay in school, we create productive members of society who can then go on to become lawyers and doctors and officials in the political system. We're already starting to notice that girls are not dropping out in the schools that we're working in. They're not getting pregnant, which they were doing before. So to see the impact of this work and know that it is directly related and ties back to Ajume, for me, is, I think, why this work is so important.
The idea of empowering women is something that is very important to mankind. For many people, when they are thinking about this, they think about it in terms of some high-level abstract thing that they can do, when in fact, what we need to do is look at elementary things of life. Something as simple as providing young girls and providing women with menstrual education. When they are menstruating, they say they are sick. That itself is not good. It is like starting a race and putting gravel in girls' sneakers. They are not going to do well. So what we are doing is remove that sneakers, take all the barriers, take all the impediments, and they will rise up on their own.
Everything that Dr. Wingo is doing just embodies this award. For him to be able to not only voice how important this is, but to actually be the one leading the action to create the change really does create an impact.
The idea that you have organizations like this that will sit down and recognize Ajume Wingo from one of the hidden, forgotten corners of the world. It say, hey, you are doing the right thing.